So I am reading what Kunle Afolayun, one of the quotes he made about this movie, describing it as a Game of Thrones recreation in Nigeria. Oh yeah, no. So, Anikulapo is an epic Yoruba fantasy movie. It is produced and directed by Kunle Afolayun. It stars Kunle Remi and Bimbo Ademoye. It also has Kunle Afolayun in it, Shola Shoboale, and a host of Yoruba movie actors, OGs, scattered across this movie. Now, this movie centers around an aspiring tailor who comes into the old Oyo town, gets into an illicit affair with one of the wives of the kings of old Oyo town, and Anikulapo tells the story of the repercussions that fall on these two people when they get into this illegal affair. Right now, this movie is on Netflix. I think it came out in September or October of last year, and apparently it had a lot of great reviews, awards, and all that stuff. Now, straight out the gate, I think the first thing we can talk about this movie, just like a movie like Jagu Jagu, the technical aspects of this movie, the production of this movie is something that everybody has to applaud. Kunle Afolayun once again has given us. He definitely knows how to do a lot of research. He really knows how to put together like set designs, production designs, costumes, makeup not so much. Because if I'm going to be honest, I felt like the makeup could have been better when it had to do with some of the tribal marks that some of the characters had. You could see there that some of them, they were painted on their face, but that they could be seen as nitpicking. But overall, the way this movie is helmed is something that you have to applaud the movie makers for. The actors as well. This is another reason why I feel like Kunle Afolayun is a good director, or great director, depending on how you want to put him, in the way he's able to helm his actors to give that his own interpretation of what he wants. And I think that it's kudos to be given to him as well. Now, I have to be very honest. I think it's a little bit of a challenge for me to talk about this movie as much as I want to, because it seems as if this movie is divided into two halves. In fact, the rating that this movie is going to get is based on what I saw in the first half of the movie. Now, the first half of the movie, for me, it's really nice. I think we're introduced to these characters, we know them to a degree, we're rooting for them to succeed and stuff like that. But from the moment the illegal affair or the illicit affair happens, it's not a spoiler, it's what we've seen in the trailers. From the moment the illicit affair happens and Anikulapo dies and is resurrected, it just feels like the movie starts to lose its way. And you want to give props to the screenwriters or whatever, but it just feels like these stories are not being told as good as they could have. There are a number of, even in the first half of the movie, when things are happening between the two main characters, there are a lot of convenient coincidences that happen that makes them to get caught. And then when we now enter the second half, this movie is about 2 hours 44 minutes, and for the first hour plus, I was invested in the movie. I was entertained. I wanted to know what was going on. But from the second half of the movie, like I said, from the moment Anikulapo is resurrected, it just felt like season 2. I don't know how to say it. Just felt like season 2. You know, when you are watching a series, and season 1 is done and dusted. Whatever happened in season 1 is gone, and now we're looking at season 2. It just felt that way, and I was like, what? Like, what is going on here? Like everything that had happened in the first half of the movie is like all that was done and dusted, and then he was now on another journey. And yes, we've had movies where the protagonist goes on a journey, but this felt like two completely different, not connected issues at all. And I just felt like like seriously, what's going on here? There's something that happens towards the end of the movie to the female protagonist where Arulake, I think that's the one that played by Bimbo Ademoye, where you kind of like feel for that character a little bit towards the end of the movie, which I liked. Not that I liked personally, but I liked the way that story was, that character arc was being made. But at the end of the day, it just felt like two different storylines or two different things that were going on in the movie. The actors are okay, they are good. And like I said earlier, the actors bring their Kunle Afolayun really knows how to helm some of these characters well, these actors, to give his interpretation of what he wants. But when you think about a character played by Hakim K. Kazim, you know, the king of the other town that they go to, you kind of like wonder why he was in this movie. I always talk about people that it seems like they're just there to pick up a paycheck, right? And with all due respect to this man, I love what he's done on movies like Hotel Rwanda, 24, I think it was even in Wolverine. In fact, before everybody started forming Wakanda Forever, this guy was repping Niger. It was letting everybody know that he was Niger. Do you understand? It just felt like he was just there to pick up a paycheck. And you kind of like wonder the arc, what they were trying to, what was the motivation behind that character? Because he didn't. Now there's there's a difference between when somebody is not speaking but he's doing something on screen. Just look at Sisu. That's the definition of someone that did not say anything throughout that movie, but we could feel the impact of his acting. Albeit, yes, Sisu is the main character. The character that Hakim K. Kazim plays is kind of like a side character. But he was important for the story, and you feel like he needed to have done more. Because you just see him doing, and you just be like, what was the motivation behind putting him in this movie? He's not, as much as we love him, he's a big name, you know, he's not the kind of guy that you can put on your poster to sell tickets in Nigeria. He's not the reason why people are coming to see the movie. So it's not just a case of, oh, we put this guy in there to sell tickets. People are going to see the movie regardless. And I just felt like his involvement in the movie, it felt like a huge misstep. In the end, it was okay. I would just say this movie is not terrible, that's for sure. This movie is not terrible, but once again, it falls into that trap of, oh, Nigeria, we have the production quality on point, everything is good, but the storytelling, which for me is the most important aspect of the movie, storytelling, character, it could have been better for me. And for me, Anikulapo will get a 3. It's just what I felt about the movie. I just felt like, despite the fact that, you know, and I would recommend people go see the movie. I mean, for the mere fact that this movie, you know, just like Jago Jago, it transports us to Epic Day Nigeria, Epic Day Yoruba land, you know, stuff like that. But I just feel like one of the most important ingredients of a movie, story, the characters, and I just feel like it could have been better. You understand? But for you that have seen this movie, what did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts, please comment below, let us know. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. And as always, please do something for a neighbor today. Peace.